Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to GameStar TV, and let us hope that our next match has a much higher play to not play ratio, because we are 30 minutes into the cast, and I think we saw about 3 minutes worth of play in that terrible drubbing that came through from Vextrum. They'll be pleased with the win, but of course it is a bit of a hollow victory when your opponents are down a man for most of the night. So hopefully our next match is going to be a little bit more entertaining for you. We're going to be bringing you Element 6 versus Conspiracy Esports, and here to take you through the match are LeBoy and Matsy.
It looks to be a cracker of a match, and all of the second round matches will be played on Frog Isle, so no more Jag Falls for tonight. So that's always something to look forward to. As lobby is getting underway, we have E6 on the blue side, and on the red side is former Intoxication, who did get picked up by Conspiracy's org. So the roster, if you do realize it looks familiar, it is the former Intox, which is now Conspiracy. So very nicely, both these teams actually getting picked up by orgs, as E6, Element 6, used to be Rogue Warfare. So I see both of these teams getting that aim out there, getting picked up, and getting the Paladin scene a little more involved with organizations. So the ban has come out, Androxus for Gibbo's team. Actually, it says Drogo now. So Andro has been banned for E6, and then Conspiracy has Drogo. The bans have actually flipped quite a few times, so I'm not entirely sure who is getting what banned. By the looks of things, I'd probably say that the Drogo ban is for E6, as they have Facehugger. It keeps swapping, but I'm sure they ban Drogo off of Facehugger. I mean, Facehugger is one of the best Drogo players in the scene, so banning him would be very comfortable. And I think Marcus, for the side of Conspiracy, is quite a good Andro as well. So taking away some nice picks from both sides, as Bomb King and Ruckus getting locked in for E6, Cassie Makoa for Conspiracy. There is the Maldama being hovered. So Maldama being picked before Ceres. Zambi is a very good Maldama. I've seen a lot of his gameplay, and he definitely is one of the top tier Maldamas in the scene. Can definitely be a very important factor to a team's victory, as Eevee being hovered. And I wouldn't suggest the Ceres to be locked straight away. They could do it and then save the DPS for a last pick. Conspiracy could also take potentially another tank if they wanted to take away the power that the Ruckus could have with, say, a Fernando. What do you think the rest of the picks are going to go like, Matsy?
Well, it's great to see that Eevee is becoming a lot more prominent in this current patch, but obviously the lobby has disappeared, so not sure what's happened there. Hopefully we'll be able to get back in shortly, but what do you think is going to happen from here, LeBoy?
I'm hoping that things run a little more smoother than what they have been. It looks like Gibbo is the one to have DC'd, as he has just gone offline, which is a tad unfortunate. Yes, I just have confirmation that Gibbo has indeed been DC'd. So that's 2 out of 2 matches that we've had some disconnects. We're off to a brilliant start, guys. But hey, it can only get better from here. Things they can't really get worse unless the whole of the internet is dead. Which in that case, I think you won't be hearing from me anymore. We can't let it happen. Go. We'll bring you this stream, whether I have to go to all of your individual houses and cast in real life for you guys. I'll make it happen. I'm a determined man.
The people's caster.
You heard it from Matsy, folks. Yeah, we're not toxic. The OC scene is strong. We all love each other.
Hey,
even
guys.
you, LCS.
While all of this is going on, just a reminder to everyone to enter the raffle. You can win either Ash Hellion or Taboo Ceres, and that is your choice of whichever one of those skins or champions you want. And the command is !HEYPALL with 2 L's at the end, because it's the second one of the season. So, you know, it's like a clever little thing. The L's look like I's, which is, you know, II, Roman numerals for 2. So enter !HEYPALL, and Driller, you're not entered because you only had 1 L at the end of it. So make sure that you put a second L at the end of it, and then you will be into the raffle for one of those 2 skins. You get to choose. So, you can't go, I've already got Ash Hellion. I wanted Taboo Ceres, because if you wanted Taboo Ceres, you're going to get it. Back to you, Laboy and Matsy. Or are we going to go to a break? Let's go to a break, guys, while we wait for the lobby to come back, and we'll be with you in just a couple of minutes. Hey guys, just a very quick update. We are waiting for the lobby to get filled up, so the big zeros on your screen doesn't mean the break is over. We are just waiting for the last 2 players to jump into that lobby again. Let me get you the game up on screen, and then we will be into Element 6 versus Conspiracy, and I'm hearing whispers in my ears that the lobby's gone up and then it's gone back down again. So pretty much, yeah.
Select
Oh, there you go. So the lobby's on, and back over to you, Laboy and Matsy.
Hopefully the picks and bans should be the same as they are this time. Drogos and Andrew are going to keep swapping seats. They're playing a game of musical chairs down there with two chairs, so that's not going to really work out for them. They're going to be 2 people in at all times. Drop a 1 in chat if you were the king of musical chairs in primary school. I sure was. The picks are still the same by looks of things. Chakras hovering what I believe they had the Maldama. Yes, they did, because Zambi did pick him up. And I think that the lobby cut out right as we had these picks. Now, the Eevee was locked in, but I think that was all. The Kinessa, an interesting one. Eevee Kinessa can be a good combo, seeing as the ban is going to be for Drogo. So picking the Kinessa as a counter wouldn't be the wisest decision, but obviously if you have both Eevee and Nessa, then you can't get flanked by said Eevee, but you can get flanked by a Bomb King or by a Buck, as it looks like we're going to see. I love me a good Buck gameplay. It's always fun to see, and especially against the Kinessa. So I think we are actually going to see the Buck being locked in. So Kinessa's going to have to watch her 6 in case she gets flankerinoed by Buccarino. There is Leceris being locked in. The finalized lineups, they're going to do their switchings now. until we get underway with this game on Frog Isle. Until we bring it to you guys, though, we'll head off to a short break. Don't go away. It's going to be a cracking match. Welcome back, all you beautiful ladies and gentlemen watching the stream. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to the match we're going to have on Frog Isle between the two newish orgs, E6, their Paladins team, facing against Conspiracy Esports Paladins team. Former Rogue Warfare, former Intox, some strong players on both sides, some very nice individual skill. Hopefully it translates and they can work well as a team. Gibbo and later Chakras are going to have some interesting battles. Gibbo on the Kinessa, Chakras on the Buck. We'll see who comes out on top, and as to whether the Eevee or Cassie actually try and protect Kinessa, because Kinessa being alive on Frog Isle can provide a huge cross-field advantage, seeing as they do some nice lines of sight that Kinessa can peek through on this map to try and get some D-mounts or some early picks. So she's going to be a target that Chakras and Facehugger are going to have to focus down as we get up, under, away. Kronos, Rekka, and Kore being picked across the board. Matzi, any first impressions on how the map might go?
Well, I feel like Facehugger and obviously Blade of Shakuras are probably going to try and do whatever they can to shut down the side of elements of, Conspiracy. And we see Facehugger had some initial success there, but unfortunately being shut down by Gibbo. And at the moment it just seems pretty stagnant, pretty just even between the teams.
The early push from E6 has definitely played to their favour, seeing as they've already got 2/3 of the points captured. 3/4. Amber slowly makes his way to the point, gets a hook and actually decides to back off a bit. Very, very early advantage, and unless they get that touch, which I do believe they've got, very, very close for E6. Might be able to cap it here and now. Amber does touch the point, might have done if he's not too careful. The Zero Healing, keeping it alive barely, does go down eventually. Stanry gets a split triple, actually. Very nice indeed from him. Gibbo finishing up Calder. That is a very, very nice retake. Marcus getting one of his own, making a clean wipe on the side of former Intoxication. Very nice from them. 99%. Unfortunately for E6, couldn't get that final capitalization on the point. They're going to have to press, but by the looks of things, getting demounted, they're not going to be able to, which is very unfortunate.
Well, if one of their members touches the point before it hits 99%, they might be able to stall it out a bit. We see Facehugger moving towards the point there, trying to output some damage, just keep away all the members of Conspiracy as best he can, and now he's duking it out with Stanry. Manages to take that guy out successfully, and there goes Tuxedo. A nice double kill coming out from Facehugger. Will be able to continue this success.
Stop the payload.
Very, very nice from him indeed. So obviously getting the ban on the Drogos just proves that he's not a one-trick, as he's playing very successfully on the Bomb King. He has quite a bit of experience on that champion, quite a good splash player. As a bit of a 4 April and Diggy, it actually reminds me of. All very confident on Drogo, BK, and Eevee. So with the new Eevee buff, Facehugger could potentially start picking her up and selecting her a bit more and shifting away from Drogos despite his skill on the champion. All getting popped from Calder right now, trying to stay alive. Heals coming out from Zambi, doing his best to keep his team alive. Cassie might go down. Dodge rolling all around the place. Marcus using that versatility quite well. Dodge rolling left, right instead of being a nuisance for Calder, having to keep switching back and forth. Makoa's ult did try to come out, actually did get popped to try and keep his team alive. Marcus with a nice double, keeping Calder and Facehugger back. There was the Cassie ult now to try and finish up some more kills, push them back. They have time. Both teams could take this point. It could be pushed, it could be defended. Matzi, do you have any thoughts on what could potentially happen?
Well, if Conspiracy continue to do what they're doing at the moment, just holding back the members of Element 6, then we could see a successful defense here, the boy. But, just a thought, Blade of Shakuras, I thought that the Buck might have been able to do a bit more, but unfortunately not able to meet my expectations at the moment, so hopefully he'll be able to pick up his game.
He's slowly creeping on Kinessa now. doing his best. Kinesta does turn around though. Gibbo doing very, very nicely. Says, hey, Buck's coming. Marcus comes back to help him out. And he got shredded straight away. So Gibbo's positioning right now is definitely playing in his favor. He's sitting back, but he's also sitting close enough to his team as to where he's not going to get just completely shafted from Buck trying to sneak around from the side. So very nicely played by him. Sitting in good positions. Sitting all the way back there. Here comes the Shakura's dive again. Will he be a little more successful this time? The teleport coming out. Cassie, though, again, immediately goes in to try and assist Kinesta. Very nice communication between Gibbo and Marcus to keep each other alive as best they can. Shakura's does get hooked in, which is going to be unfortunate. Stays alive, barely, gets knocked off and cannot jump back. So Amber gets the final kill. If they're going to push it, it will be an overtime. E6 are holding on. Mitchell, Zambi, and now Calder on point, doing their best to keep the team in it. A pick here would be crucial. Marcus may go down, stays alive. Gibbo goes down. Face hugger got a kill. There goes Gibbo. Amber takes one onto Zambi, so that means no more heals for E6. The ult gets popped. They're committing. Calder, he wants to keep his team in it. It is getting closer and closer. They are touching. There's the EV stall from Stanley coming out. The turret and blade of Shakura's doing their best to keep them alive. Getting closer and closer. Here comes the last time clutch for Tuxedo. Going invis and staying alive. Gibbo gets taken down. This Ceres gets taken out as well. A final dodge off from Marcus, but he can't hold the point long enough as Mitchell gets a nice double along with Zambi with one of his own to take the point. Very, very nice clutch there from E6. 2 points to them straight off the bat. That was an intense last push.
Yes, that was quite intense indeed, Lavoy. It's unfortunate for the side of Conspiracy. For towards the beginning of that initial part of the last fight, both teams were a bit split apart, so no one was really able to gain an inch at first. But then towards the end there, Element 6 sort of grouped together in Deathball-y sort of comp and managed to stagger the members of Conspiracy quite successfully, which ultimately led to their successful push, taking the second point there.
Yeah, they really need to stick together a little bit more. They need to have communication that Gibbo and Marcus do. We're not really seeing that, at least I'm not, from the side of E6. People like Facehugger on the Bomb King can try flanking with later Shakura's. It looks like they're trying to do as best they can. Shakura's went down, yet Facehugger still jumped in as Gibbo picks up the double kill. Calder takes one back onto Marcus. Stan gets one of his own. Mitchell and Zambi they actually backed off, being very, very smart there. They had the point, they were ticking it down very, very slowly, but they knew when to back off and to not get picked out off guard, as Amber can land some deadly hooks, as he does then. Shakura's pops the resilience to try and keep himself alive, get him some healing. Doesn't actually get any damage done to him though, trying to jump back and forth. There's the Maldamba ult, as Makola is trying to stay alive with his. He walked into the fear by accident, got himself picked off. There's an actual tap though for the side of Conspiracy. The Ceres ult definitely did play a huge part in that. Gibbo tries to stay alive on the Kinesta as Shakura is jumping him, realizes he's being healed by the Ceres and jumps away straight then and there. But a nice point taken there from Conspiracy.
I've got to agree with you there, Lavoy, but I don't think the Buck pick is really what the members of Element 6 expected it to be. Not really doing as well as it could so far. Maybe they could have picked up potentially a Maeve instead or something along those lines, because I feel like Buck's just really struggling at the moment due to the teamwork on the side of Conspiracy.
Yeah, the Kinesta Cassie combo is very, very deadly, as both have decent mobility. Cassie obviously with a lot more than Kinesta, but they have the range, and if they work together, they can pretty much insta-kill someone. With a Kinesta headshot and a dodge roll increase Cassie shot, that the extra little bonus you get there from the dodge roll could potentially one-shot someone like a Bomb King if he jumped in there unknowingly. Kinesta ult actually did get popped, as well as the EV ult, but Mitchell takes Stan down before getting a kill off. Tuxedo does finish Mitchell off eventually, though. Shakura's is going to go down as he did get hooked and immobilized. Gibbo sitting back. If there was to be a flank hitting him now, he might go down. But fortunately enough for him, his positioning seems very, very nice so far. whereas no one wants to push him because he could telly right to his teammates. So definitely the Kinessa positioning is going to be something that Shakura's and Facehugger will need to take really good notice of, as having to sit back and just get shots off, doing a lot of damage, it can't go ignored. Whether she gets kills or not, you cannot leave a Kinessa to sit back, getting shot after shot. She's going to charge her ult. She has Wrecker 3, so she's going to be melting shields, so she needs to be addressed by Facehugger and Shakura's if they want to have a bit more of a chance in this.
They really need to work together a bit more effectively, I feel like. I just saw earlier, Blade of Securus ended up jumping in by himself, and Facehugger obviously got there eventually, but it wasn't in time as Securus got picked off quite shortly after. And we see both teams heading into another team fight here. Mitchell trying to get off as much damage as he can before he ultimately gets taken out by Marcus, and then Marcus in turn gets taken out by Facehugger. And finally, Blade of Shakuris has done it. He's taken out Gibbo. The Kinessa is out of the picture. Only Stanley left alive to do some damage alongside Ceres on the point here. I feel like potentially Element 6 might be able to defend this.
Very, very possible. It's about halfway there in overtime. Stanley is really showing how Eevee can be used. The definite projectile speed increase is very, very noticeable, and he's making full use of it, as Lizlak did in that previous game. Gibbo getting a nice shot off as Stanley tries to stay alive as best as he can. The Eevee flank poses a lot of threat against E6. Staying alive, having to weave in and out. Mitchell getting a kill back for them. This is going to be a tough one if they were to push it. Zambi with actually a very, very nice double kill, keeping his team alive, doing some DPS while he's at it. And that's a successful defense for E6, putting them up 3-1 going into this next point.
Very unfortunate for the members of Conspiracy there. I thought that they might have been able to possibly push it to the end there, but obviously not enough pressure being maintained there and ultimately losing that point. However, they do have 4 ultimates coming into this next push, so they do have
15 seconds.
Potential to take this point in turn, try and work with that, but obviously the members of Element 6 also have 4 ultimates, so this point could go either way, LaBoy.
4, 3,
the ult combinations for the side of Conspiracy, you could have the Ceres and potentially the Kinessa or Eevee ult together and do some big collective wipes on point, whereas there's not much combining that they can do on the side of E6. Bomb King ditching the buck straight away. They're sticking together, but they need to time when they're jumping in and out of fights, or else they're going to be split up. As Stanley does pick off Shakura's, as Facehugger did jump out. There's the Ceres ult coming out, and not being combined with anything, unfortunately. There goes Barracks also to keep his team alive. A lot of members on the side of Conspiracy, very, very low. Gibbo got himself behind enemy lines, unfortunately. Kinessa is not a flank. You were caught really, really out of position. He went to try and chase down Zambi. Gibbo might get picked up in the process. Mitchell does finalize that kill. Amber trying to stay alive on the Makoa. Has stayed alive throughout a lot of the fight. Does get taken down eventually by Blades of Shakura. Facehugger gets one into Marcus, and this is looking very strong from E6. As they take out Tuxedo, Stan, the only and last member alive, gets taken down. That is going to be game, set, and match for E6, unless we can see some really clutch Gibbo teleports. There goes the Maldana, and that is going to be the victory for Element 6 against Conspiracy Esports. Well played to both teams. Not a whole lot you can complain about from Conspiracy. Just, I think, overall, the picks might have been what cost them the loss, seeing as they didn't have a whole lot of point pressure. They had the Ceres, they had the Makoa, but up against a Barrack Ruckus with the Maldamba, I just think that their lack of point pressure, it could have been what lost them the match. Matsy, would you agree, or do you perhaps have other thoughts on it?
I agree with you completely there, LaBoy. Like, they had some nice champions, but ultimately, it isn't really enough, is it? Like, with Makoa by himself, essentially on the point with Tuxedo, whilst the rest of the heroes from Conspiracy are more or less very mobile and sort of have to move around a lot, especially Kinessa, considering that she was being flanked a fair bit and had to hold from behind the front line. It's unfortunate, but in the end, they tried their best with what they had, and this is the result.
And before we get into the little MVP pick, I think something I'd want to point out is that Marcus on the Cassie got himself into a bit of a sticky situation, seeing as he had to protect Gibbo, but at the same time, him staying back to protect Gibbo on the Canessa meant that he couldn't be in the midst of the fight with Amber on Makoa and Tuxedo on Ceres, meaning that there wasn't a whole lot of DPS on point. See, as Gibbo was trying to shoot into the back line and prevent being flanked, Marcus was doing the same, and Stanley was going for flanks himself, meaning that it was really just the Makoa Ceres alone on point the majority of the time, which again is probably the reason they lost, seeing as I don't particularly think that there was any mechanical reasons, more so just the picks, which was very unfortunate. Hopefully that they can see that and agree with me pointing it out as the potential issue. But for the MVP pick, Matsy, is there anyone that you're looking at that probably just pulls ahead? Because there are a lot of potential candidates.
It's really hard to say, LeBoy, but obviously in terms of kills, we're going to have to go with Facehugger, really closing out a lot of picks for his team there. I feel like he could potentially be the MVP there.
Possibly, although Calder was one I was looking at as well. Him and Zambi did combine. They stuck together really, really well. Calder especially, though, 23 assists, doing the most amount of damage on his team, even beating Facehugger and Blader Shakuras. Even Mitchell up there as well with only 700 less damage than him. Calder did do quite well, had a lot of objective time. Mitchell as well. This is actually a tough one to call. Although I think, honestly, looking at it now, with 161k healing, and we did see some nice double kills, and I personally saw some nice stuns coming out from Zambi. I think he could be one that we could potentially give the MVP to, if you agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that, LeBoy. He's gone above and beyond the healing of the healer on the other team and really just kept his team in the game. So I'm going to have to agree with you there.
So Zambi gets the MVP for round 2. Calder and Mitchell were very, very close, unfortunately for them, just slipping away. Even Facehugger was a close candidate. So Zambi, congratulations. You take the MVP for this round. The next round we will bring to you shortly as we just take a look at how the brackets have evolved. Ninja 4-1ing Vextrum and Subway 4-0ing Phoenix. Very, very interesting results there. Ninja Vextrum was a little more segregated than what I'd like to have seen. I thought Vextrum would have had more of a chance, but got almost wiped, which was unfortunate for them. So Vextrum Phoenix, Subway Conspiracy, and Ninja E6 are matches that we can see. E6 have won both of theirs, and Ninja have won both of theirs. So I think that could be a match that we would want to see. It's definitely going to be the one that I'm going to want to see. So we will have to watch that match next, which will be on the map Frozen Guard. We'll bring that to you very, very shortly. We'll go to a quick break, but the next match will probably be the best of the evening, so you definitely don't want to miss it. Stay right with us, guys.